Okay, Len, tell me, do you hear anything in the background of my video?
No, I
Does
do not.
anyone
It sounds
does anyone
quiet.
does anyone in the chat hear anything in the background of my video? Anyone? Have a good
No,
listen.
they're not going to be able to answer because there's a delay. So you have to wait
Well,
like 30 seconds.
I'll just wait. No problem. I don't mind.
Oh, then we're going to go long today, Joey, because I got tons to talk about.
This is a community chat. Okay. Behind me here, I have a 256 heat miner. I'm going to pull it up here. Len, you talk about it a bit. I'm going to go pick it up.
So it is a S19, one of the variants of that. And it's set up so that it is heating his room. He plugged it into the 110 volt outlet in his house. And yeah, it's just a mining away. Look at the... And he's actually mining. He's actually mining at his house using a S19. And it's heating his room at the same time. So in the wintertime, if you have a room that needs to be heated up and you're going to be using electricity to heat it, might as well use one of these guys. Or if you're going to just heat up an area like a garage or something and you need it, these are great devices to do that. So quiet, and you can show it off. It's a good talking point. What's the website?
Sick. It's 256heat.com. Yeah, Twan from the show. Twan's been on the show. Mm-hmm. I went to see him today, and he has a couple of different prototypes in his house that look like really fucking good. Really fucking good. I told him to sell those ones to somebody else. Don't give it to me. So this thing runs on its own. Easy setup. Comes with a Wi-Fi extender so you can connect to your network. Everything is there. And the best part, Len, it's on a 120 plug. So
I think it's drawing, am I right, 1,400 watts? Am I right?
It goes up to 1,400. Mine is running a lot lower than that right now, just because I haven't set it up to run that hot. So but I could actually do it. Yeah, I could actually increase it from my phone if I want.
And you could throttle it down significantly if you want.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing is there's a happy medium you have to find somewhere. In terms of like the efficiency, it goes down when you really like say put 400 or 500 watts through it.
Oh,
yeah, it's not as efficient.
Well, it'll still run.
It's much happier to hire.
It'll still run though.
Yeah, it will still. So you can mine and do your thing.
And this thing gets up to I think 150 terahashes. So we did a quick comparison today. Yeah, we did a quick comparison today at Twan's house. I don't want to speak out of turn, but Twan could maybe tell me if I'm wrong about this. I think the Bidax gets 3 terahashes. The Supras, the Bidax Supras, gets 3 terahashes for about $500. That unit behind me, it retails for $1,950, but it's like
it's all Canadian dollars, by the way.
It's all Canadian dollars, and it comes like that's an older sort of model that I'm working with there with the as far as the aesthetic. But that thing per terahash is like $39 compared to the Bidax, which is like 175 or something like that, something insane. So for people who are solo mining, this thing in Ontario, again, I'm kind of speaking out of turn here, but sorry, Twan, I want to pump your product a bit here. In Ontario, this thing will run for, if you let it run 24/7 and you don't have any special, like hydro setup, it'll run for about $125 a month and pay out current price $140. So it'll cover your costs plus more if you realize the gains and sell to pay your hydro or whatever, but you don't have to, obviously. You could imagine if you ran this for a year ago, how much you'd be up right now. You can imagine if you were on the ultra low overnight rate, which you can go to with the province, I think it's 2.8 cents a kilowatt hour overnight, how much you'd be up. And best of all, Len, this one is just going to heat this room because this room is cold. It's actually cold enough that I'm still wearing a sweatshirt because I haven't set this thing up to run hot yet. But like, you could hook this thing up to your HVAC. You could put it in a room that's cold. I actually didn't tell Twan this, but I might in the fall actually go buy one from him, another one, and put it in a garage gym that I'm going to build. I'm going to move my gym to the garage and put it in there. Like, the options are endless. And I think on this show, what we try and do when it comes to people we partner with is 2 things. One, we try and give you the stuff that we use ourselves. Okay. And 2 is we try and give you something that I think is beneficial for you to have or use or whatever. So whether it's Bull Bitcoin or Market Easy DNS, we liked Essential for a time. And when things started to go sideways with the service, we said, we're going to part ways here. Don't worry about the partnership. I met Tuan today for the first time. We've obviously been, sort of affiliated, talked to him for, a long time now in the group chat that we have, but seeing the passion that he has, seeing the understanding he has of how to build these things and sort of what's going on with the difficulty some people are having. I'll give you a good example of this. When Tuan builds these units, one of the things he looks at is not just the decibels of the noise, but the frequency. So this fan behind me is very low frequency. It's what you would call white noise. It sounds like a fan running in your room or something. It kind of just blends into the ambient sound. Whereas miners without the engineering that he's done are much higher frequency, that high hum that you hear. For example, when you listen to an industrial miner, if you go back to that Pierre Rochard, this miner doesn't produce any CO2 video, the hum is very high and it's abrasive to your ears and it's abrasive to your thoughts. This one is not like that. That's because Tuan cares about the stuff that he makes. And when he sells you something, he's not selling it to you just because he wants to move product, but he's also thinking about, okay, I want to make the best thing possible. I care about the space. I care about my reputation. And that's why we're partnering with him. So I don't even know what we're exactly doing, getting out of this. Len took care of that, but I don't care because I really like the product. I think it's very good. I've had it in here the whole time. I kind of moved it out of the way there, but I had it in here the whole time. You guys can't hear it, and it's hashing. And
you could sleep next to it. That's a
100%, 100%.
You could have it in your room that you're sleeping in, and you're not going to notice it.
Yeah.
So if your room is cool and you don't want it to stay cool,
this thing is plug and play. Like you bring it home. The Wi-Fi extender that comes with it. You just you download the TP-Link app on your phone. Off you go. Piece of cake. Everything is built into it. It's truly a all-in-one unit, and I'm looking forward to working with them. I hope you guys give this a look, and if you do, just tell them we sent you. That's all we ask.
Air Canada strike is going on.
Woof.
Still, right? They've been ordered back, but still, so people who are unaware, this is the flight attendants that are on strike. There was no deal that they've been at the bargaining table for around 8 months, and through that 8 months they haven't been able to come to an agreement, and so they decided, you know what, let's go on strike. That's they have the the right to do that, I guess, right?
Yeah, their prerogative. Yeah.
So yeah,
they thought anyway until yesterday.
Well, Air Canada. This was a Crown Corp up until the late 80s. It was 89.
It still is
pseudo because it gets every so often bailed out.
Yeah. Why else?
Then they're forced to go back to work.
Yeah. Why else?
Or they're using some legislation.
There's ownership rules. It has to be owned 50-something% by Canadians, and it's got all sorts of other nonsense that basically makes that entire industry, that entire sector, non-competitive.
You know what's odd about this is that they had an agreement in place back in 2015, and that agreement obviously didn't have the foresight. Nobody had the foresight to figure out that the price of shit would go up tremendously past 2020.
Yeah.
So their earning power today is nowhere near where it was in 2015 because price has gone way higher than their wages. So they want to get paid in accordance to what things are right now. So I think what they're talking about is some sort of 30-something% compensation in the first year, something like that. But it's not all just wages. I think 8 to 10% is for 1 year. The rest is for other sort of benefits that come along with it. So I mean, I look at that. I'm kind of sympathetic towards what they're dealing with because, as we talked about the start of the show, they're doing work without getting paid for it. That's bullshit. I wouldn't want to see anybody do that. But what's even stranger is that they have, I guess, as per law, the ability to strike. They do it, then the government tells them to go back to work.
Yeah.
So are they an essential service then? And if you're an essential service, do you get paid to be an essential service because you should get paid a little bit more as a result?
I don't know. Yeah. Are they calling it this an essential service? Is that what they're doing? Sort of.
If you're forced back,
yeah,
I don't care what you describe it. They're saying because of the economic situation, the tariffs, they have to do like, to me, that's essential then. And then, right, look at that. So
did you see the deal they were offered?
No, I don't know how far apart they are.
So I'll give you the deal they were offered, and you tell me if you think it's unfair. This is from Demetrius Sudas, who I think worked for Stephen Harper.
He did.
Yeah, 38% total compensation increase over 4 years. No concessions there from Air Canada, or from the union, I should say. Industry leading ground pay. So ground pay was included. Hourly rates up to $94 an hour in the first year. First year pay increase of 12 to 16%, which includes an 8% wage hike plus 4 to 8% new ground pay formula. By 2027, senior flight attendants will average $87,000 a year, with 20% of flight attendants earning over $90,000. Major improvements to health benefits and pension plans, including the legacy defined benefit pension. Golden goose. You don't get that anymore. More paid vacation and better rest work-life balance measures. Reduced in-flight workloads through changes to crew complement. So they're going to put more people on each flight, and they would remain the highest paid flight attendants in Canada. They are up to $17 an hour better than the closest competitor. So the question for me is not how fair is it? I think because they realize that they maybe hold some chips, and they're doing a better job communicating that they're the hard done by party than the government is the other argument, the other side. I don't necessarily think that's true. I look at this and I think that these guys have it pretty good. I have in the past been loosely associated with several flight attendants, and I will tell you they are living a life of just wild times, and they seem to love it. So that's anecdotal, but looking at that plus the pay, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to think that any group, any organized labor group would decline a 40% wage increase over, what would I say, 4 years?
But is it a 40%
over 4 years?
Increase?
38%.
No, I hear that number, and I don't have all the details, but I've heard it framed in a way that it's
total
other
comp.
Things as well.
Yeah.
So
what's the difference? Yeah.
So again, the devil is in the details here.
Yeah.
And they're obviously not accepting it. And I'm not trying to say that it's the right thing to not accept it. You'd have to look at everything in detail to say, okay, look, this is either a good or bad deal. They should take it. The one thing I find interesting, though, is even with this order from the federal government to go back, they're not.
No, I know.
And that's a very sensitive situation to be in, because if they continually do that, I'm not sure if they're in the same position where the flight controllers back in the 80s were when Reagan did. Like, I'm not sure if the same sort of outcome could come from this.
Yeah.
But
replacement referees. Yeah, watch out for replacement referees in the skies for sure.
They're saying lots of fines are going to be levied as a result of them not going back to work. Potential jail time. They're saying, I look at this is fucked up, but it is just an example of what's going on in the world. And at least they want more. They are being forced to go back to work, and they're saying they're going to go to mediation to get, like, I don't know, man. It's fucked up in so many ways. You know what? Another thing that's fucked up too. I mean, just on a quick side note, the election is going on today, the by-election for Pierre Poilievre.
Or Alberta. Yeah.
I don't know where specifically in Alberta.
It's like a hyphenated name, I think.
Yeah. Battle River. Or something.
That's right. Yeah.
Battle Creek. I don't know.
Let's check the updates here.
Closes at 10 our time, 8 p.m. Mountain is when the polls will close.
Okay.
And I've heard
open till 10:30 on Monday. It's 10:30 our time. Yeah.
And I was reading that the results may not come in for several days.
Yeah, because everyone has to write in their candidate.
The list is long.
There's no list. You have to write in. Oh, yeah. The list of candidates, 214 altogether was the total tally.
It's a long list. And so that's just a totally fucked up. And CBC was spinning it today. If he doesn't get anywhere near the 80% marker where his predecessor got, then that could be a potential sign that they're just not happy with a Federalist candidate running, or just him as being the leader of the party.
He doesn't get it. I think that there's two ways to approach.
He had no other choice.
I know, but what I'm saying, like, from his like sort of his ideology and stuff that he talks about on the trail during the federal election and during Battle River too, I would guess I haven't been paying that much attention to that campaign.
Yeah, nobody has. It's been quiet. And it's better if it's quiet.
Yeah. I would just say that you had a chance to attack this from the right of the traditional conservative position and say stuff like immigration needs to be frozen, which he's saying now during the campaign, to say stuff like, we have to talk about remigration, which people were saying then, I still think is a good idea, to be honest with you, in a lot of cases. Now he's saying it, and it looks like he's grasping at straws. Jenny Byrne did a podcast the other day. She's completely incompetent. I'd never heard her speak before. She's a total moron. Someone who's living in the past and, really riding on her laurels, I think, in a lot of ways, getting these jobs, major campaign managing, just foul ball after foul ball with her. And like, I look at the Conservative Party, and like I said to Stockwell Day a few weeks ago, they look rudderless to me. And Stockwell disagreed. He said that Pierre had a lot of support. We'll see how much support he's got. But to your point, what is the number at which you look at his momentum or lack of and say, we got to cut this guy loose as leader? Is it 70%? I don't know. I don't know.
The fact that he lost the election back in April, that's enough to trigger.
For us, it is. You and me both feel that way. But the question is, what does the party feel? What do you think they feel?
I believe that they should go through, and they believe that they should go through some sort of leadership review, and that's going to take place in January.
Yeah.
There's no way he's going to escape not going through a leadership review.
I don't think he's going to escape that, but like, why even put him in the by-election? Like, just pick a new face. That's what me and you both think they should have picked a new face. Do we not?
100%.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's unprecedented, but it hasn't happened in like a long time where somebody, the opposition leader, loses the seat. And
just crazy.
Usually it's like you got one kick at the can unless you do pretty darn good, then you come back a second time and that's it. But man, like this, he had this one locked up too. He had this one locked up for a long period of time and just fumbled it. I got to give kudos to the Carney team. They ran a really good campaign.
We talked about how good the campaign was. Yeah, we talked about
that elbows up thing. Like
really landed.
It worked.
Really landed.
It fucking worked.
Yeah, Boomer asking if we're going to get Melissa Lantsman. No, she's not competent either. I don't know who you get, honestly. I haven't thought about it. You and me kind of talked about it offline. I think maybe you go into the business world and take your shot with someone like I don't know. I think we landed on Jim Balsillie as being a dark horse. If there's Kalshi odds on him, I'll put 10 USDT down to make 100. but otherwise, I don't know. I don't think in the party they have any. They don't even have any recognizable faces. Like, who are you going to get? You got, probably the most well-known conservative MP is now. It's probably Andrew Lawton from his time with, was he with the Rebel? I forget what he was with. Western Standard, one of those outlets. Like, he might be the most well-known face of conservative politics, not for his time as a politician, which just started. So I don't know where that party goes after Poilievre, but I don't think he's going to make it through that leadership review, honestly.
Don Cherry 35 years ago and bilingual would have been a heck of a idea.
Yeah.
But obviously that's never going to happen. Let's discuss this iPro Realty.
Sure.
I'm not sure if they went tits up. And I have to admit, I never heard of this real estate brokerage before.
This is out west, right?
No, this is not in Ontario.
Oh,
in Ontario.
Yeah.
And either way, it is no more. The Real Estate Council of Ontario said they are finalizing the undertaking of the firm as of August 19th. That's tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And the snapshot of what's going on is this company went tits up. And it's just what's going on in real estate in Canada. It's not doing all that well. It's fucking a nightmare for people out there that are holding bags that are getting heavier by the day. And they say for this iPro, they have a total deficit of $10 million and 2,400 agents are employed over there. And people are asking questions like what happens if their property was recently sold through iPro, or if they've made a deposit on a home that is being held by iPro, or they've made an offer on a property using iPro, shit like that. This is an absolute fucking mess. The real estate market
that 10 million, that 10 million is gone.
I don't know.
So I've been following this sort of from friends of the show, Ron Butler and Ben Rabideau, because Ben's been on this for a long time. I think Ben actually got into a legal battle with these guys. They sued him and lost because he was pointing out irregularities in some of their operations. I mean, that's probably putting it lightly, but and Ron Butler is making the case here. He made this tweet from 2 days ago. Where the hell did iPro Realty's 10 million go? Who is RECO, which I assume is like Real Estate Council of Ontario, maybe trying to
they're doing
protect here?
the David Bailey method, and they're flying private jets everywhere, getting an annual salary of like 1.5 million or something.
Here's the big comment. iPro isn't audited by RICO for years, but when iPro was advised of the coming audit, they magically arranged for an existing senior manager to form iCloud Realty. And by a wild coincidence, the new guy is ready to take on all 2,400 agents. Screw that bullshit. Where's the OPP? So the implication here is that iPro formed a new realty called iCloud Realty with the 10 million they stole from people who used iPro and are now taking on all 2,400 agents from the old agency under this new name with the stolen money. That's the implication from Ron's tweet, I think. So I don't like real estate, man.
No, it's a disaster.
There's three people in real estate that I trust. One is my dad's girlfriend, who's done 2 transactions for my wife and I, and the other 2 are Tom and Nick Karadza, and that's the list. Like that is the list. I don't know. I wouldn't trust anyone else in real estate. I think all these guys are stupid. They think they're brilliant because they got rich or are trying to get rich on the back of monetization of an asset that's not meant to be monetized. They took weekend classes. I know I won't use the name of the bar or the girl, but in my heyday, I knew this girl who was telling me that she was like going to become a realtor. This girl was the biggest drunk I've ever met. And she did become a realtor, Len. She is now selling homes somewhere in Ontario. And I just look around and I think, how many other people are like this? They got an idea. They were able to put it together for 72 hours, take one of these courses, pass the test, whatever. And now they're going around telling people what they predict in the interest rate market to try and get them to buy homes. Like, you're asking for trouble with this. With iPro, it's even worse. Like, there's a lot of commentary about like laundered money. And I just, how is it allowed? Never forget, okay, that you and I were deemed too risky for a bank account. We were deemed too risky for a bank account. These guys are moving tens of millions of dollars around from one defunct agency to a new sort of like, you know, clean face to save themselves from bankruptcy. Like, how is that allowed? What bank is allowing that? Help me understand it. Help it make sense, man. I don't get it at all.
You can't make fun of it. You can't. It just is a snapshot of what's going on in the real estate market. And you talked about the money laundering, and I've mentioned this several times over the years. The real estate market is I don't want to condone it,
apex,
but the reality
apex
is
predator of money laundering for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
You could have the dirtiest.
What about
money?
Where do you put Hunter Biden art sales on the money laundering predator list? Above or below real estate?
Oh, I was going to say on par. If I don't know which is. One day I'm going to pick one. It is just like that, right? Like, you get the dirtiest fucking money. First of all, buy a home legally, the proper way, get a mortgage, upgrade the fucking thing, put new rooms, all this shit with the dirtiest fucking money, sell it. It's clean. It gets washed. And the real estate in Canada has been a wonderful place for that. And you know what? Anybody wanted to come after me and say, I've been doing it. I live in the same house. I've only owned one house in my life.
Yeah,
this is it.
yeah.
So it's not like I've been doing it. I'm just telling you this is the reality of what's going on in here.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just want to bring up a couple of more stories before we do our Hamilton.
Brampton man or Hamilton man. Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, but a couple of good ones. We got to go a little longer because we did the segment for Tuan.
Sure.
People are wondering what happens to Canadians when they join ISIS. Well, Global News did some studies here.
Who's wondering?
Oh no, this is interesting because people picked up and left for Syria back when ISIS was doing their thing over there. And Global News wrote an article, and they were talking about 8 women and children that were involved here, and they left. And so Canada repatriating these individuals. Canada spent $170,000 to bring them back home. Included in this was $170. Sorry, including this $170,000 was they were taking business class, Joey, to come back. When is the last time you've taken business class? Probably never. Maybe you have. I don't know.
Grade 10, anyway, I think I took a business class.
Business class. Good for you.
Grade 12.
These individuals that picked up and left for, I believe Canada described them as a terrorist group, by the way. They were able to come back on business class. They were then, when they came back, Montreal Marriott was their stay for a little while. They were given ice cream, candy, and fucking wine. Beautiful stuff here. One room cost over $1,000 for 2 nights because there was the wine tab they had to pick up. Another one ran to $850 with charges of junk food, red, white, and sparkling wines. They don't go fucking light over there. Another one was $2,800 for catering. That was
Are these Muslim women? Are you allowed to drink if you're practicing Muslim? I don't think you are. But anyway, continue. I'm pretty sure you're not.
Maybe they converted afterwards.
Maybe.
After
business class will do that to you. Yeah, it changes a person.
And also the expenses were $100 for books, more than $100 for books, clothing, travel bags, Canadian pins, and high value token of appreciations, all purchased at Best Buy. Even they were tipping people. They were even tipping people. They give the servers tips of a few bucks here, a few bucks there. Yeah,
Nice.
this is, and by the way, this $170,000 to repatriate these people. This is $2023 I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not $2025 money, because Global News wanted this information. They applied for it. Took 2 years. They finally got it on August 7th, and hence they wrote this article.
Interesting. John in the chat asking if these are Canadian spies. And the news just happened to pick up on the expenses. I don't know. Good question. I think the point though is that that's a lot of money to be giving away to people to spend at Best Buy. Is it not?
No, the one like business class, Joey.
Everything.
Come on,
Yeah.
Marriott. You couldn't.
Yeah.
The Motel 6 wasn't available.
Was there a blackjack
tip
expense on
people.
there too?
I don't know.
They're in Niagara, you said, right? So
no, Montreal.
Oh, Montreal.
There's a casino.
There's casinos in Montreal. Yeah. Could have played there. Yeah.
Anyways,
how do I get involved in this somehow?
You should have joined ISIS.
Is that the trick? Didn't they pay another terrorist guy a while ago, like 10 million or something, and he started a business with the money, and like they tried to hide it? This is a long time ago, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he was in the news.
Well, there's more to come, because these are just the women they repatriated. There's still some men that have to come back, and so there's going to be a part 2 to this story. We'll probably get it in 2035 when we ask for it.
And when the rest of the request comes through.
So this may be the most fucked up story this past week.
Okay.
And it's been a lot of fucked up stories. This guy named Jagjit Singh, he's a citizen of India, entered Canada in 2021 as a visitor. Not a foreign student, not a worker, as a fucking visitor. Came here and made a claim for asylum, claimed he was a refugee.
Mm-hmm.
Met a Canadian woman in November 2024. 2 months later, married, 2025 January.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to withdraw his refugee claim, and his wife applied to sponsor him to stay in Canada as a spouse. And I'm not sure if I mentioned, she suffers from ADHD. And since he overstayed his visitor visa, he was asked to leave, or worse, forcefully leave through deportation. But he decided to fight this. He went to the federal court, and the court justice, Avi Yayago, she came up with the thing that there's evidence to support there's harm to Singh's wife and to Singh's sister, who will suffer financially because the couple have to pay to live in her house. So Singh and his wife pay to Singh's sister to live in their house. And quote here, in the case before me, there's evidence that the wife that's suffering from ADHD, which impairs her ability to manage time, stress, focus, and everyday responsibilities, and that the applicant provides her with support by, amongst other things, helping her maintain daily structure and reminders for medication and appointments, and providing her with emotional stability and mental health support. Essentially, the application for stay, he's going to stay here. She's allowed to stay in Canada because she's got ADHD and she's suffering from other things. So the guy came here, claimed refugee, overstayed his visa, all that stuff, met somebody, married 2 months later, and yeah. Enjoy, man. You know what? I look at stories like this, and I'm happy the decisions I'm making are, that I'm making because the problems that exist are going to be other people's problems. That's exactly it. Not mine to fucking deal with. It's other fucking people's problems.
I love how foreigners are piling in. I mean, this is obviously a bit of an exaggeration, but like they're piling in and latching onto women who are like SSRI addicted, ADHD, like bipolar art chicks, and then claiming that they have to stay because she can't remember her appointments and her pills. Like that's the claim, basically.
It's good to have him around.
Yeah, Boomer. He's staying because he's an emotional support dog.
You can't put on your phone on the calendar. Okay, this time I gotta do this. This day, I gotta.
It's
That
amazing.
doesn't fucking exist. No.
Amazing.
You gotta have that fucking person next to you to remind you.
Jag, what's his name?
Jagjit Singh.
Jagjit Singh. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Jagjit Singh. All right,
good.
Let's go to the Brampton and Hamilton.
This is going to be sponsored by 256 Heat. That's who the sponsor is for this segment from now on. Yeah. Until we decide that we don't like Twan for some reason, or he doesn't like us. But he lives really close to my house, by the way. He's like not kidding about the location. It's like 10 minutes from my front door.
And for people who are unaware what this segment's about, I proposed 2 stories to Joey. One is about a Hamilton man. One is about a Brampton man. And he decides which one is which based on the facts that I'm presenting to him. And you can play along at home until the board game is released. You can play along with us right now.
I got to shut the comments off. Okay, go ahead.
Because Joey doesn't want to have this.
I don't want anyone to tell me.
All right, so let's start off with the first one. So this is according to the police. A 25-year-old motorist allegedly opened a beer can to commemorate having passed his G2 license exam just 20 minutes prior.
How old is he? 25?
25. So in celebration, the driver cracked open a beer and decided to drive back home on the highway. And the driver apparently was going over 50 kilometers over the speed limit. And he was also weaving in and out of traffic. And he passed an unmarked cruiser, and the cop obviously stopped him. And during the stop, they identified open alcohol in the car and a blood alcohol limit, which was above 0, which is essentially what you have to have as a novice driver. And so, yeah, this guy got his test, passed it, cracked open a beer and drive home. And there you go. So 50 over the limit, lost his license, lost his car for 30 days, the whole 9 yards. That's story number 1.
I know where I'm leaning on that one, but I want to hear number 2. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the police in this one are alleging that a 34-year-old person assaulted somebody before robbing the cyclist.
Oh, I know exactly who it is now. Okay, yeah.
You know this one?
Yeah. Is this the naked cyclist guy?
The naked cyclist guy, yes.
Okay.
So this guy was the arrest for the people playing at home. This guy was, he was a naked guy, and he assaulted somebody. And then
can we pull the clip? I'll see if I can find the clip.
So there's some videos out there that's being shared on social media. The naked guy was seen knocking off the cyclist to the ground before riding away in a stolen bike, and this happened at 2 p.m. Apparently, the guy he assaulted somebody that he lives with a bat. After fleeing that, he decided to jump on the back of a vehicle at a local parking lot, but he fell off the vehicle as the vehicle fled away, and he decided, there's a bike over there, the cyclist on it, I'm going to steal that fucking bike. So, yeah, there you go. You got the naked guy that assaulted his roommate with the bat, jumped on the back of a car, and ultimately just stole a bike from some poor cyclist.
So I knew I was going to lean Brampton with the guy who finishes G1 or G2 and then cracked a beer. Seems like a Brampton man thing to do. And then obviously I knew about the naked guy, even though you didn't tell me he was naked. I kind of knew that story from recently. If you haven't seen that, there's basically a guy in Hamilton who got mugged and then had his bike stolen, like beat up or like hit, and then had his bike stolen on basically the highway, Nikola Tesla Boulevard.
That's exactly it. Yeah, he was on the
and the video is nuts. Someone captured it on their phone because it obviously had been going on for a minute or two before. And there's just like a naked guy stealing a bike from a guy who's dressed to ride, and he just rides off on the bike, butt ass naked. It's an incredible Hamilton story, outstanding stuff. What is my record now in this?
I think you're 3-0.
3-0. Okay.
Yeah.
3-0. I got to put, we need to make a banner for this. Okay.
So yeah, the other one is the guy that cracked open the beer was a Brampton man. And so didn't say his name, but I think we could figure it out.
Well, what is it? What's the Brampton guy's name?
Oh, we don't know.
Oh, we don't know.
It's not reported. 25 years old, and he just, he decided to get his license that day, at least his G2.
So Brampton Man versus Hamilton is sponsored by 256 Heat, where you can heat your home, greenhouse, pool, or just your podcast room when it's cold. And make some stats let you do it.
Yeah, it's like if you're riding around naked and you come back home while you're fucking cold, stand in front of the miner and you can heat yourself up. So
I should know. I don't know if Twan's still listening. He was in the chat earlier, but Twan, if you're still listening, put these things on your website, because on your catalog it's like t-shirts and stuff. I like the t-shirts, by the way. I should have asked you to give me one, but yeah, put it on your website so people can see it, because I know that people will want to buy these things once they get a chance.
Hey, you know what we didn't talk about today?
What?
The cost of living in the States, the PPI came out.
Sure, we can talk about it quick if you want.
No, I mean, I don't know if you want to. Just it came out hotter than what it
It's
should
hot.
have.
It's hot.
expected.
And Powell, we will talk next week about Jackson Hole, which is on Friday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is the biggest sort of Fed speak thing of the year. I don't know.
That's their Super Bowl.
Yeah, that can move markets, man. Don't forget, a couple of years ago, it really moved markets, and I would be paying attention to that if I was a Bitcoiner. I don't know if everyone will be, but I'll be watching for sure. It's Friday, I think at 1 or 2 o'clock he goes on and he does a short speech, and that's it. I don't even think he takes questions.
I might be golfing that day, so it doesn't.
Yeah, stream it in the cart. Oh, you don't take a cart. You're a walker.
I like to
oh
walk,
my God. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, listening, watching, and I'll see you Wednesday for Dan Carlin. We'll talk about the Canadian conference, which you should be attending, by the way, and we'll have a discount code for you at some point. So tune in, and we'll see you then.
And don't ride your bike naked.